What's up, guys? I'm going to do a performance review today on the Jordan Flight the Power shoe. It's one of the standard team shoes that Jordan Brand has come out with. I think they come out earlier this year. They came out with a couple of team colorways, and there are a few other colorways as well. Got the white and black one today. I'll start, I guess, at the bottom of the shoe. As you can see, you've got full-length herringbone, runs the full length of the shoe. They used a pretty soft rubber, so the break-in time was pretty minimal on them. Right out of the box, the traction's pretty decent. So if you're like a guard or a swingman or probably positions 1 through 3 like a lot of traction on their shoe, these are pretty good. I didn't have any slips or any problems with the traction today at all. And next, going from the traction up to the cushion, as you can see, you've got a visible heel Air Max unit. It felt pretty soft compared to a lot of other heel Air Max units I've played in. Probably because of a lower PSI in the air unit. It was pretty soft. It did its job in terms of heel impact and stuff like that. The rest of the sole, or the rest of the midsole, is just a standard Phylon foam. There's no air or real cushion in the forefoot at all, which usually for me I kind of have to have. But for some reason with these, it didn't really make a difference. These the Phylon, I don't know if it was a softer version than what they usually use. It felt a lot like what they used in the Mellow M8s. I haven't played in them, but having tried them on a few times, the foam seems like it's pretty soft on those. So it seems like what they used here. It was dense. It was really dense in the forefoot, and it actually felt pretty. Had pretty good bounce to it. The insole is just a standard polyurethane insole. It was pretty cushioned, so they had a decent amount of step-in comfort. Break-in time was pretty minimal. That's probably why the foam felt a little softer, because there was really small break-in time with these. Going from the cushion up to the support of the shoe. In the back here, there's not an external heel cup. It feels like there's probably just a TPU internal heel cup there. Support. You've also got, you can't really kind of see it, but in this little black triangle here, there's another really kind of dense like TPU. It's not a glass shank plate, it's just a TPU shank plate on the inside there, so you've got that for torsional rigidity there in the arch, so you don't overflex your arch. The sidewalls here, it's basically a combination of, you've got some hyperfuse here in this section here to give a little bit of ventilation. A lot of the support pretty much came from just the overall fit of the shoe. It's also got, if you can look at it from this angle here, it's got a pretty good outrigger. So I mean, I definitely felt like the side-to-side movements, back and forth, they were very supportive, and I really like that. Having that external outrigger there, that really helped. But most of the support just came from the overall fit of the shoe. Considering the materials used, you don't see a lot of basketball shoes these days that actually have. I mean, this is real leather. I can tell the difference between the cheap crap leather that they usually put on the retros these days and stuff like that. This is actual leather, which is why I kind of picked this colorway out of the other ones that they had. But this is actual leather, and you've got a separate toe cap, which I really liked with these. And then you've also got on the heel, there's a little bit of leather on the back. It kind of wraps around the whole medial side of the shoe here. And then you've got a little bit of patent leather on this side, which it's actually a fairly pliable patent leather. It's not real stiff like a lot of the other ones they use these days. But the leather was, as it heated up, it really kind of conforms to your foot really well, and it supported it pretty good. Fit-wise, these ran pretty true to size. I usually wear a 10.5 in most Nike models, and these were spot on at 10.5. If I wanted to put another insole, like if you wanted to switch the insole out for like a one that has more cushion to it, I would suggest going up half a size because the way that these are built, um, if you look at them, they're not real. I don't want to say they're wide, or I don't want to say they're narrow in the forefoot, but um, I could definitely see where if I had another thicker insole in here, where you might start to get like a hot spot probably right here on the forefoot, like where your pinky toe is. But I didn't. I just played in the standard insole. I really usually don't pay an extra $20 for another insole. I think it's kind of stupid to have to. When you're paying especially with some of the other models, when you're paying that much for a performance basketball shoe, to have to upgrade it, it seems pointless. Buy a shoe that works right off the bat as opposed to having to upgrade it afterwards. But support, they were really good. Didn't have any issues with support. Material-wise, like I said earlier, you've got leather toe cap, you've got leather going around the medial side of the shoe. The tongue, in terms of the tongue here, you just got it's just a standard mesh. Now, one thing I really liked that I really don't see a lot of Nike and Jordan doing these days is the tongue is really thick. It's really padded. The foam, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this here, but the foam on the inside of the collar is really thick too, which is really good because if you're like me and you tie your shoes really, really tight, having pressure points on the laces and on the tongue and things like that really sucks. So I really like the foam that they used here, and you're not going to be able to see it, but on the inside of the shoe you've got a sleeve that goes all the way down into the toe cap, and I can feel it actually wraps around to the insole on the inside. So these things have a pretty decent amount of padding to them. And also, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but on the side here you have these little cutout vents. If you can see my finger through there. Ventilation on these, for them being a mostly leather shoe, was also pretty decent. Like I played in these probably, it's been an hour since I got home. The inside of the shoe is completely dry. So ventilation on these was pretty good. I personally don't really put like a whole lot of stock in ventilation. I grew up in the 90s, and all the 90 basketball shoes had no ventilation, so that's kind of a, if ventilation is a really high priority for you, these would probably still be pretty good. They use the Hyperfuse really well, and I'm not really sure if these are just design, like the little cutouts are just designs, or I'm thinking that they may have. I'm trying to look here and see. They didn't. Yeah, okay, they actually do. The little, you see those little white triangles? They actually hook into the lace loops here, so it kind of acts a little bit like that new dynamic flywire they've got going on. Lockdown on these was pretty good. It wasn't perfect. I had to adjust the laces a couple times when I first started playing in them, because once your feet heat up and they start to swell and expand, I had to tighten them up a little bit. The heel lockdown, you'll see these, they have what's called the asymmetrical collar, so supposed to give you more support on this side and a freer range of motion on here. It was really similar to playing in like a low top shoe. The ventilation was really good. Trying to make sure I'm not missing anything here. Overall, for the price point, you're going to find most of these, most Nike outlets are going to be carrying these. A lot of places like Eastbay have them on sale for like $50, $60. I think I picked these up for like 52 and some change at my local Nike outlet. So for the price and for the quality of the materials that you're getting and how well it actually worked out, this is a pretty good bargain. I've played in a lot of shoes here lately, and the newer models, I don't know, it's just, I guess I'm just picky. This almost seems like a really good fuse of old school like 90 technology with you've got the leather, you've got the primary leather upper with some other newer technology from today like the Hyperfuse for ventilation. I was really surprised having not had any forefoot cushion in these. Typically I like Zoom Air in the forefoot. I don't know, see, you've also got that herringbone that wraps around the medial side of the shoe here too, so that was kind of good. So like when you're rolling and pushing off and making, cuts and movements like that. I really liked having that, that extra grip. A lot of Jordan Brand shoes these days do that, which is a plus. A lot of people like to hate on the Jordan Brand, non-retros for playing in. Um, you guys need to wake up and realize that they're putting out some good hooping shoes. They're not shoes to walk around and look pretty in. These are shoes for basketball players, which is what Jordan was. I think we kind of lose sight about that sometimes with all the retros and stuff that are out there. Which are great. They look great, but the quality of the materials on these is kicking the shit out of just about every Jordan Brand retro out there right now. And this is what most people look at as a crap team shoe. So the quality of the materials are awesome. They're comfortable. They played well. They broke in really quickly. Traction might need a little bit of break-in time. It's a soft rubber, but it's not like really soft. I've played in some shoes that had some really soft rubber, but it was, even with with swiping my feet every 3 to 5 minutes, it was pretty good. Flex on these, I'm a pretty quick guard type player, and flex on these, it's not great, but it was decent. It was enough to where it didn't cause any kind of issues, or I kind of forgot. The best kind of shoe is when you can play in them and forget you're wearing them, and this was one of them. So I'd say if I had to give these guys a score out of 10, taking everything into account, I would say these are a solid 8 out of 10, which is unusual for me, having no forefoot cushion other than the Phylon foam, and having the Air Max unit, which I thought looking at them at first, it's a fairly small unit, but they had to have lowered the PSI on these to make them a little bit softer. So if you see a pair of them at your Nike outlet or online and they're cheap enough and you want to give them a shot, I say go for it. Now, the other colorways I saw, there's a black and red colorway and also an all-black colorway. They have nubuck on the upper, which honestly would probably maybe not be as durable, but it's probably going to be a little bit softer at first. So grab a leather one if you can, and if you're a 90s guy like me, you'll love them. Well, that's pretty much it for today, guys. Have a good one.